This is the Tigers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Detroit Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Woo! What a snooze fest. This team is a joke right now. The Detroit Tigers lose again, and worse than that, they're shut out again. 3-0 the final. The hands of, no, not a first-place team, but the lowly Pittsburgh Pirates. Welcome into a live Locked On Tigers postcast. I am your host, Jake Riepma. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Riepma. The funk continues. We'll talk about that on this episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast. How concerned are you? I think it's time to panic. I think that's totally okay if you're like me and are hitting the panic button. The bullpen was a little bit better tonight, but all is lost. And another defeat. The Tigers have lost 6 of their last 7. They've scored 3 runs in 4 games. It's embarrassing. We'll have our biggest talking point, our turning point, and of course, our player of the game, which, spoiler alert, does not play for the Detroit Tigers. So buckle up, dial it in. Let me hear your comments. Sound off in the comments if you're as frustrated as I am, because this is getting tough to watch, especially against a team like the Pittsburgh Pirates. We begin where we always do, our biggest talking point, what you would tell a friend about this game, and maybe you would be ashamed to be a Tigers fan after this game. And I know it's Paul Skenes, so maybe I'm making too big of a deal of it, but it just feels like that point in the season when it rains, it pours, and you're going up against the Pirates' best pitcher, and obviously the best pitcher, you could make the case for the best pitcher in the National League, starting the All-Star game and so on and so forth. So maybe I'm putting too much stock into this loss, but after you lose 2 of 3 to the Rangers, obviously swept by the Mariners going into the All-Star break, and as the defeats continue to pile up, I know there's no pressure in the division, but you got to play the game the right way. And this Tigers team just simply has not. And again, I put in the comments that it's okay to panic, because I am. And what a season this has been. And even before last night getting to 60 wins, but how much fun we've had in the first half of this season, and the 6 All-Stars and all of the exceptional moments at the beginning portion of this season, the first half, to where now feels like the bottom has fallen out. And so I know you've got to trust AJ Hinch and trust Scott Harris and that organization, that they'll get this team ready to go for, I think we can all agree that the Central is firmly in the balance, but there's still a lot of baseball to be played, and nobody would be satisfied with simply a Central Division title, a playoff appearance, and maybe a first-round exit, because they certainly are not looking like real contenders in this losing streak and this funk that they are in. So let's go ahead and get to our biggest talking point. We always start with what your biggest takeaway was from tonight's 3-0 loss.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I don't want to sound like a broken record, but after Saturday night's loss, I kept using the term lifeless, and it felt a little bit like that again tonight. And I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face, but it was Paul Skenes on the mound. He gets his 4th win of the season, and obviously that's extremely deceiving given how bad the Pirates bullpen is, how bad the Pirates are as a team are offensively, so on and so forth. He never gets any run support, but some of the stats that he can control, strikeouts, whip rate, all of those telling statistics on what makes a great pitcher, ERA, and et cetera, et cetera. I can go on and on. He is as good as it gets. And he just mowed through this entire Tigers lineup. Colt Keith, top of the order, 0 for 3. You've got Gleyber Torres, 1 for 4. Riley Green, 0 for 4 with 3 more Ks. And I don't want to beat a dead horse and keep talking about it, but it's the concerning reality of where Riley Green is. Spencer Torkelson, 1 for 4. Zach McKinstry, 0 for 4, although he did get robbed in the 9th inning there. I thought it was going to be a nice leadoff double to get the rally started, but alas, it was not. Dylan Dingler gets 1 hit in the 9th, and you get 1 hit for Parker Meadows. But as a team, and yeah, we know Trey Sweeney was 0 for 3, Matt Vierling 1 for 3, but just as a team, not enough done to even pose a threat to this Pittsburgh Pirates team. And again, it's the Pittsburgh Pirates we're talking about. So Tigers got to figure out a way to go get the next two to win this series. Otherwise, it's a black eye on the road trip, and losing 2 of 3 to the Texas Rangers, who they are what their record is. They're a 500 ball club. They're right in the middle of the pack. And then if you don't beat the Pittsburgh Pirates in a series, that's just a complete and total failure of a road trip. Lots of comments to get into, and as always, appreciate those comments. That's what makes the live Locked On Tigers postcast a lot of fun. We get to hear from everybody at home, as frustrated as me. I think Corey sums it up pretty well here with the yawning emoji. Demetrius McNeil is up next. He says it's been 4 games, 3 runs, and they can't score against Paul Skenes. Wake up tomorrow and start playing better baseball, or that division lead is going to shrink. And again, I'm not worried about the division. The AL Central is the Comedy Central. We'll wear that title. We know it is what it is. But yeah, and I'm looking at the post game in the background right now. Sorry, I'm like a squirrel trying to screw in a light bulb when it comes to talking about this Tigers team. But Parker Meadows did make a great catch at the beginning portion of that game, up against the wall in center field, did the old spin around. And, say what you will about Parker Meadows offensively. He's as good as he gets defensively. There you go. Thomas Rotondi, Riley Green, please sit him down tomorrow. He is absolutely brutal right now. 1 for 22 with 17 strikeouts. Oh, my goodness. If that's accurate, I haven't gone back to confirm that statistic, but it wouldn't surprise me. That's how bad he has been. My goodness. And it's a harsh reality. That's what I'll say. The dude is up next. He says, our team is in trouble. They can't hit, and Scooble is the only reliable arm. It's starting to feel this is too big of a fix for the trade deadline. Dude, I'm with you. And that sucks. I wish I had a more eloquent way to say it. But I'm not going to crucify Jack Flaherty for this game, because by definition, and just the 3 innings. Yeah, that's brutal. 6 hits, 3 earned runs. He did have the swing and miss working with the 6 strikeouts, but to give up 3 runs in that second inning, you put your team behind the 8 ball a little bit there. But there's no reason that this Tigers team shouldn't have scored more than 3 runs against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And I know it's Paul Skenes, and you can debate me on that if you like, but they had the 7th, 8th, and 9th to get to one of the worst bullpens in all of baseball. So disappointing once again. Thomas Rotondi voicing his opinion. Jack Flaherty is straight garbage. Rick Pacella says, I'm on my way home from PNC with lots to say, but for now, I'm going to explain one fact. You can scream it, shout it, and bang any drum you want, but Green is most certainly not an elite ball player. That's what everybody's saying. And it is starting to feel like, man, Riley Green is turning into that power hitter, he's turning into Adam Dunn. You remember him for the White Sox? And played for a couple other teams too. It's just strikeout or home run. And I don't remember him. And obviously he's still young enough where there's time to maybe alter that uppercut swing or try to just do something to make contact more often. But yeah, he looks lost at the plate. Braylon Dennis says, let's trade for Suarez, dog. Yeah, Eugenio Suarez. That would be awesome. He was once in the Tigers organization. Oh, man. Jimmy Card Collector's up next. I was excited when we re-signed Flaherty, but it hasn't gone well. Indeed, it hasn't. He helped the Dodgers win the ring last year, and Tigers dealt him at the deadline. Now he's back with the Tigers, and he has been rough. Christopher Weimer says, Riley Green 0 for 4 with 3 Ks is a free space on your Tigers bingo page. Unfortunately, Chris, I think I have to agree with you. All right, here's maybe some optimism from Barndoon. This was going to be a tough game even before Flaherty gave up 3. I get it with Paul Skenes starting, but again, as the Tigers, as a first place team going up against, I don't know the National League Central standings, but I'm sure the Pirates are in last place given their record. Let's I'll do a little statistics studying on the fly here and see exactly where the Pirates are in the National League, because I would assume they're last place. They are. They're 40-61. So, I mean, they're last place in the National League Central, aside from the Rockies, and the Nationals, close to the worst record in the National League. So, yeah, it's Paul Skenes, but my goodness, another brutal look. Oh, man, Jack Hilarity and the Motor City Duds. That's from Mike. Indeed. All right, we'll continue taking your comments. We'll keep the lights on, and we'll look ahead to tomorrow. And sorry it's such a depressing show, but that's the way it is on the Instant Reaction Show. We live and die with this team, and unfortunately, it's been more dying than living as of late. Don't go anywhere. We'll have our player of the game and our biggest turning point and so much more on a live Locked On Tigers postcast. We'll keep the lights on. Back in a moment. This episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast, it's brought to you by our friends at Supply House. That's right. If you're in the skilled trades, you gotta use Supply House because it's made for the skilled trades. So if you need to get the supplies you need from the site that's made for the skilled trades, it's Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website, it's packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. And if you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free TradeMaster program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage, and now it's your turn. Join the TradeMaster program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Use that promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. This episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is also brought to you by our friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And guess what? Summer sports are in full swing. And whether you're all about baseball under the lights or maybe it's golf on the green, how about high-stakes soccer action? Any way you slice it, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action, so why not make it a little more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game, you guessed it, while your friends are getting sunburned on the beach. What a bunch of losers out on the beach when you could be betting on sports. Yeah, those losers are getting sunburned. It's easy to use, fast payouts. I love it. And it makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. And if you're new to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today and visit FanDuel.com to get started. Tigers lose again. Tigers are shut out again, and it's not fun. It's not fun. We don't like it. Tigers got to bounce back against the Pirates tomorrow. So look at our player of the game. Let's do that right now. Keep the bosses happy right here on a live Locked On Tigers postcast.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Oh, yawn. It's Paul Skenes. He gets the win. 6 innings, 3 hits, did not give up an earned run. He struck out 6 and walked just 1. Just mowing down the Tigers like they're a bunch of minor leaguers up there at the plate. That's what they looked like. And unfortunately, not much else to say about it. Paul Skenes, your player of the game. How about a turning point? It's the turning point of the Tigers losing 3-0 to the Pirates.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
When Jack Flaherty decided to give up 3 runs to the lowly Pittsburgh Pirates in the second inning, this game turned. You couple that with the Tigers' inability to score any runs through 9 innings, you have a 3-0 ball game. Sometimes, I don't want to be insulting and try to add anything else to this game other than 2 double thumbs down if you're a Tigers fan. bounce back and get ready for the next one, because that's really what it looked like, folks. And again, I'm not telling anyone anything they don't know. And if you were at the game, I'm sorry, because you deserve a better experience than that. However, PNC Ballpark, chef's kiss. It's absolutely gorgeous. That was one of my all-time favorite road trips I went on as a kid with my family. Remember, we went kayaking in the river there during batting practice in one of the games, walked around the beautiful stadium, the city of Pittsburgh, all right there. You got, it's not Heinz Field anymore, but where the Steelers play, right on the river walk there. It's a cool spot. There's no other way to put it. Very, very cool spot. I was there for West Virginia, Pittsburgh, the backyard brawl this past season. And again, it's just a really cool spot. So enjoy the bar scene. A lot of great restaurants right there. Drink your sorrows away. I probably shouldn't say that. I joke, I kid. But at the same time, if you went to the game, don't let this sorry baseball team right now deter your experience, because PNC Park, Pittsburgh, it's an awesome area. Okay, tomorrow's matchup, where the Tigers look to bounce back against a really tough Pittsburgh Pirates team. You got Casey Mize going for the Detroit Tigers, Mitch Keller for the Pittsburgh Pirates, 6:40 Eastern first pitch. And of course, we'll have the live Locked On Tigers postcast for you right after the game. How about that, sports fans? Thanks as always for tuning in. It's always a pleasure. Make sure you check out Locked On Tigers with Scott Bentley. Subscribe to the channel, because even when we lose, we booze. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I was trying to think of something clever to add some comedic relief to the end of this postcast. But always, always, always a pleasure to be on the air representing the Locked On Tigers postcast. And until we meet again, have a wonderful night. See you next time on a Locked On Tigers postcast.